that color never resonated with me. It was muffled in sight, and now that I can't see it anymore, it's muffled in hearing. Hey my treasures, it's Serena, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting me and my content. If you guys haven't, check out the description box below where you will find our YouTuber of the month, Unsightly Opinions. She's wonderful, and you will find a link to her channel down there, as well as this week's chosen video. Today I want to talk about colors and how I see them. A few disclaimers before we begin, since I don't want to get into every single color and every single way in which I experience every single color. I used to be able to see as a child. I never had full vision, but it was a lot better than it is now. I have Leber's congenital amaurosis, LCA. It is a degenerative eye condition, which means my vision has gotten worse and worse over the years. It started getting worse in childhood and has continued since then. I could see colors much better than I can today. So do I know what they look like? Yes, I have a good idea of what the primary colors look like. I still have trouble and have always had trouble differentiating between different shades. I could not really tell you what the difference between teal and sapphire is, and sapphire and cobalt and viridian. Those are all shades of blue, but I can't really comprehend why they're different. I think sapphire is deeper, and I think teal has a bit of green in it, but I haven't ever really been able to see it well enough to really understand what that means. Now, when somebody tells me something is red, blue, green, I have a vague recollection in my mind of what that looks like. But when I hear the name of a color, the visual aspects of it are not what pop into my head first. For example, if you tell me the shirt I'm wearing is red, I won't think immediately of the visual color red, even though I know what red looks like. Red is a color that I still have a very firm grasp on, which is probably why it's one of my favorite colors. I would think of the taste of cinnamon candy, or what a hot stone feels like in my hand. Now, do the ways I equate colors to scents and textures have anything to do with visual colors? I think maybe they do. Cinnamon candy is often depicted as red, after all. I can't tell you if equating colors to certain scents and textures that are of that color is intentional. I don't think it's intentional, but I do believe that the fact that I could see colors once does play a big part in that. So now that that disclaimer is out of the way, I don't want to wax too lengthy on that. Let's get into the different colors and how I experience them. Red. When I think of red, I think of the feel of a hot stone or the taste of cinnamon candy. Orange. A fire's heat. Or the scent of orange soda. I know why the scent of orange soda makes me think of orange. When I was younger, my parents used to give me scented markers to color with. I could still see at this time, but it was a lot easier simply to identify the color I was coloring with by the scent alone, and orange always smelled like orange soda. This is another confirmation that visual memory does come into play when it comes to equating these colors to scents and textures in my mind. Even if I haven't consciously done it, it's there. Yellow. The feel of sun. The scent of a lemon. Once more, I think the scent of a lemon comes from the fact that with those scented markers, the yellow always smelled like lemon, and it was a very overpowering scent that I actually did enjoy a lot. So I think that sort of stuck in my mind. I mean, even as I'm saying it now, I can still smell that color, and actually in my mind's eye, I can still see the brightness of that particular marker as well. The way somebody who has never seen is going to experience colors is going to be different to the way I do, because I am lucky enough to always have those visual images linking up to what my senses are telling me now. They're not the first things that come to my mind with these colors, but they are still present. Pink. The feel of spongy sugar. Have you ever tasted a circus peanut or felt what that consistency is? It is not a hard piece of candy, and it's not soft enough that you can put your finger in it and leave a hole. It's spongy. I don't know if circus peanuts are pink. I don't think that matters in this instance. I always thought they were yellow because they taste like banana, so in my mind's eye they're always yellow, but I think they might be a different color. But for some reason I have always equated the color pink to that particular texture, spongy sugar. I also, since my daughter was born, equate the color pink to her blanket, Nai, which I don't have with me, or I would show it to you. It's not pink anymore. It used to be pink, but the top of it is very fuzzy and very soft and very warm. And I don't know why I started thinking of that when I thought of pink, probably because my mom was telling me that it was pink, and it just sort of stuck in my mind. But obviously that was not the texture I've always thought of when I think pink, because that's fairly new. My daughter is only 8 years old, but it does prove that the way I think of colors and view them in my mind's eye, it's not static. New things can be added, although some things aren't usually subtracted. Once it's there, it's there. Like pink, I've been thinking of spongy candy for pink since childhood. I have no idea where that came from. I'm not even sure I had a circus peanut in childhood, but it's just there. Green, soft grass, or the scent of grass and pine. Now, when I think of green, and here I am going into each color when I said I wasn't going to go into each color, but I just want to explain certain aspects of what I'm explaining. So grass, it has to be the softer type of grass. It's not the kind of swamp grass you find in Florida. It's more like the kind of grass you find in New York or New Jersey, in my opinion. It's much softer. It can literally feel like a carpet under your foot. It's the kind of grass you want to lie in and gaze up at the sky, have a picnic in. It smells beautiful. And yes, grass is green. So again, could just be a little bit of visual memory. But mostly when I think green, I think of the way that feels under my feet or my hands. And I smell the scent of pine in my nostrils, because pine needles are such an overpowering and fragrant scent. It's beautiful. It's not overpowering in the wrong way, unless you get the wrong kind of air freshener or something. But natural pine, the way a Christmas tree smells, is amazing. Just evergreen, and yes, it's one of my favorite colors for that reason. I couldn't call green one of my favorite colors via visual memory alone. I just didn't find it that fascinating. But in my mind, it's one of my favorite colors because of the way I sense it. The scents in my mind are beautiful. They're scents that I love, and it makes the color a lot more appealing. Blue, cool water. Whenever I put my hand in a bathtub of cool water or a swimming pool, blue fills my mind. I know in my head that water is clear, but in my mind, it's always blue. Not hot water, that's a whole different story. But cool water. Not frigid water, that's different as well, but cool. The kind of water that you'll want to jump in a swimming pool and swim in. I don't know if this stems from the fact that when I was younger and I looked at a swimming pool, it was always very blue. I knew that that wasn't the water. It was always the lining. For some reason, a lot of people use or used to use blue liners for their pools. Liners or their stone was blue, but the water always looked blue. I don't know if people still do it that way. I haven't visually seen a pool in years and years, but it's very possible that those remembered visions in my mind contribute to why every time I touch cool water with my fingers, the color blue fills my head. You know, who knows? Maybe it's possible that the way it's depicted in a lot of media depicts it as blue, and that helped kind of cement that in my mind as well, that when you touch water, you should see blue in your head. Purple. The taste of grape and muffled sounds. Muffled sounds. How can I explain this a little bit? I think it's because when I could see, purple never really made sense to me. I could never see it properly. It was probably one of the colors that I could see the least well. It's really grammatically amazing, Raina. Purple was muffled in my eyes. So as my vision faded, purple began to move. And whenever I heard a muffled sound, like it was muffled by fog, not something you might hear from another room, but as though there was a blanket lying over the world, it always made me think of purple. So every foggy day, it's almost like my mind sees purple, even though I know fog is not purple, because everything sounds muffled. And it's almost like, okay, I know that purple is red and blue combined, but I never really got that. That color never resonated with me. It was muffled in sight, and now that I can't see it anymore, it's muffled in hearing. And I find that kind of fascinating. Gray. The sound of rain and the feel of dampness in the air. It's not the same as fog. I don't feel gray in the way I feel fog. Fog is purple to me. But when you walk out of the house on a day when there's a lot of moisture in the air, when it's very muggy and you know it's gonna rain, that's what I think gray looks like. White is loose, fluffy cotton and the scent of clean linen. The kind of loose cotton you stuff stuffed animals with. You could give me a bag of that and dye it bright crimson, and in my hands, white will always fill my mind. Cotton is white in my head. Like, I can't envision it any other way. Sheets, when they're coming out of the laundry, they're always white. Even though I know this set of sheets is striped, this one is red, this is black, this is blue. All sheets feel white to me because I equate them to when they're coming out of the laundry and they smell like clean linen. Black, velvet. The feel of velvet always makes me think of black. Even if I know something's a crushed red velvet dress, it's gonna be black in my mind because that's what my hands are telling me. My hands feel velvet, my mind thinks black, and that's what sticks in my mind. You can't tell me that something is red or that this velvet dress is blue or that it's green because I won't understand it properly. Brown. When I think of brown, I think of the feel of mud underfoot or the sound that footfalls make on hard-packed earth. Mud is brown. Hard-packed earth is brown. Why I think of these things, again, I don't know. They're just what my mind has equated to that particular color over the years. The feel of mud underneath my feet, which I despise, by the way. I don't like walking through mud. It's slippery, it's harder to keep my footing. You never know how deep it's gonna be. It's just squishy and gross, and I don't like that texture. And I know mud is brown, so again, it could just be that, brown's gotten a bad rap because of mud. But also the sound of footfalls on hard earth. I don't know where that came from. It's very possible that came from audio dramas. I watch a lot of audio dramas that are kind of like medieval. Wow, no, you don't watch audio dramas, guys. You listen to them. This is me giving misinformation here. But I listen to a lot of them and they're not often modern. So you get a lot of footsteps of people walking through a forest or just on packed earth. And for some reason, that pops into my head as brown. Silver. The feel of cold jewelry and the sound of clinking cutlery. Gold. The feel of cold coins and the sound of coins in motion. Put my hand on a pile of coins and tell me they're bronze, and again, it won't matter. They will always be gold in my mind, even though we don't actually have gold coins anymore. Nobody pays with gold anymore, but my mind still thinks that we do. My treasures, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a little difficult for me to explain, so it might have been a little difficult to understand, but if you sat through this entire video, thank you so much. If you are blind, tell me how you see colors and how they resonate with you in your mind, in your senses. If you found any value in this video, please like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you are aware of when I'm posting new content. Please follow me on social media. I have all the links in the description box below. Especially follow me on Instagram. I post content there every single day, and we are in the midst of a countdown now because I'm heading off to Germany soon, so I am super excited about that, and I will take you guys on that journey as much as I am able. But for now, I'm going to say adieu, and I will see you all next week with another video. Keep gleaming, my treasures, because each and every one of you does. Bye!